charismatic listeners, and welcome to the Flow of an Aquarius podcast, presented by Bastard Productions, and with your host, Panther Forte.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Flow of an Aquarius podcast. How y'all doing out there? First of all, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. This is the first episode of 2025. Now, did y'all have a good New Year? What did y'all do? Did y'all celebrate? Did y'all celebrate? Did y'all get drunk? Did you spend it by yourself? Did you spend it with friends, with family? Did y'all eat a lot? Do people throw cookouts on New Year's Day? I mean, I'm pretty sure they do. I can't remember if I've been to one or not. I don't know. I can't remember if I've been on like a New Year's cookout ever. That's one thing I can't remember. Do people throw cookouts and like Thanksgiving dinner type meal things for New Year? Or is it just people grilling, if anything, like hot dogs and burgers, or if not even that, just getting drunk or going to church, bringing the New Year's, shooting fireworks, shooting guns? What do people typically do on New Year's? I can't remember anymore because I spent the last few New Year's by my fucking self. I can't remember anymore. Damn, that's an interesting way to start the episode with an interesting realization. I spent the last few New Year's by myself. No, like that's just, it's not of want. It's just the way things have happened and taken care of, just the way it's been. I don't even care at this point. It is what it is. I had two options. Well, I had an option. I was invited to a New Year's gathering. Me being me, I turned it down because I don't want to be around a lot of people on New Year's. Even if I know a lot of people, I prefer not to be. No, not anymore. Introvert has set in. I rather just, so the option that I gave myself was to be with either one other person, or just be by myself, because like I said, I've been by myself lately. So it was just those two options, and the option of being by myself was the one that that ended up being landed upon. So it is what it is. But what did y'all do? That's the question. Enough about me on that. What did y'all do? And did y'all have fun? Was it something that y'all wanted? Did hopefully no chaos happened and you got to spend or welcome the new year in the way you wanted it to? I know that you guys can't respond to me right now, but you can always leave a comment to let me know on this episode. They have comment sections on YouTube as well as Spotify and other platforms where you can reach this podcast. Okay? Just do it. It's nothing to just leave it. I will read it and I will respond to it because I'm curious. I want to know if anyone is listening out there, So this is starting to become like one of those transmissions to outer space. Is anyone out there? Anyone? I see the numbers going up, but who are they coming from? Kind of thing. Also, with the new year has brought in almost a close of the 2024 football season. And I don't know who out there watches football, but I am a football lover. I played football in high school for a little bit. Then I ran track my last 2 years. And before I say this, I don't want anyone who does listen to this episode to be like, oh, he's a bandwagon. He's bandwagon on this team. No. If I was, I wouldn't mind saying it. The Baltimore Ravens. I've been a fan of that team. I don't want to call myself a fan. I don't like referring to myself as a fan of any goddamn thing, really. I've liked that team since 2003. I'll say that. There are two teams that I support when they play, and there's a team that I actually like over those two teams. I support the New Orleans Saints because I'm from Louisiana originally, and that's the team that Louisiana has. I support the Jacksonville Jaguars because that's where I grew up. But the team that I like over those teams is the Baltimore Ravens, which is the team that I watch play just about every chance I get when I'm able to. And damn it, they are doing the damn thing yet again. Had somebody come in to one of the locations that I work is hectic right now. For one, work is fucking hectic right now, and it is a bit overwhelming for me. But I'm managing it. I'm holding it down. A lot of shit has taken place within this last week, but I'm holding it down. So, had somebody come in yesterday, and they asked me a random question about who am I going for, or who do I think is going to win who do I think is going to be in the Super Bowl. And I said, well, I mean, right now I don't really know, but I'm going for the Ravens. She's like, oh, okay, I'm making bets. That's why I wanted to know. I guess she's doing like the fantasy picks or whatever. But she was like, I'm making bets. And I was like, she's like, what do you think they're going to do when they play the Browns? And I said, well, I think they're going to beat the Browns. I believe they're going to beat the Browns. And she was like, oh, you think so? I said, it's almost to the fact where I know so, and you asking me again is kind of challenging my intelligence. So, yeah. So she ended up switching her shit instantly. She put everything down she had and ended up logging to her phone or whatever account she had and switching it. And she said, well, what about the Jaguars versus the Colts? I still don't know the results of that game. But I told her, I said, I think the Colts are going to beat the Jaguars. I don't want it to happen, but I think they're going to win. And she said, well, the Jaguars beat the Colts the first time. I know some Jaguars fans may listen to this, and you know, as someone who grew up in Jacksonville, myself, you know I'm damn right when I say this. I said, yes, the Colts have beat them the first time they played. I said, but if you know anything about the Jaguars, they can't hold it down 2-0. They go and lose the next one. And matter of fact, while I'm doing this and I'm talking about this, the game is over. I have not checked it out. Let me actually see the results right now and see. And gosh damn it, I was right. They lost in overtime, 23-26 against the Colts. This is I didn't want to be right, but she said she was going to change it, and I think she changed that too. And sweetheart, I just won you some goddamn money. If you followed along with what I had guessed, then you just got some money. I don't know how much you bet or what you bet on, but you just won. You just won. So congratulations to you. Here's a little hand clap. That you get that. You deserve that. You deserve that. So this is just a small talk before we get into the episode. So it's Sunday, right? New episodes come out every Sunday. I'm recording on Sunday as well. Because I didn't get a chance to record last week. I usually record on Thursdays, but like I said, it had been a hell of a week, and next week is going to be another hell of a week. So, but I'm going to try to record on Thursday, so that way I can edit on Saturday, if possible, or Sunday morning to have this episode up by Sunday. Which I'm still gonna edit this episode after this and have it up by late tonight. I'm trying to make as little mistakes as possible. And usually when I edit, all I do is I add in some sound effects or I delete spaces in between my talking or thoughts, just so that way it makes the episode not as long, or there's not as long as a quiet pause section in the episode like that, because that can get annoying, Too long of a pause is But with that being said, today is Sunday, and for those who know me personally, and those who are getting to know me on this podcast episode or this podcast show in general, Sundays are my cheat days. That's when I wake up and I hit the gym early. I do it fasted, nothing on my stomach, no food wise. I hydrate, and if I do eat anything, it's usually something very small. It's not an actual meal. It might be like a handful of almonds, or an orange or 2 oranges, or just like a small little bit of fruit just for some type of nutrition. And then I hydrate, a lot of water, and then I hit the gym. I have my pre-workout with me just to give me that jump start. But I do everything fasted, and that's my reward. And I do full body workout. Very intense, focused, and then I have my cheat meal when I'm done. So today being that day, and my cheat meal is I love it. I love it. It's very immaculate. And for some people, they're like, well, what do you eat? Like, what is a cheat meal? My cheat meals typically, if I can, if I'm feeling in the mood, my cheat meals consist of two pizzas, two pizzas, 2 to 3 burgers, and maybe whatever else I want. Or if it's not that, my cheat meals would possibly consist of maybe even two 12-ounce steaks, some Alfredo. It's a lot of whatever, and it's pretty much something that has a lot of proteins and a lot of carbs. It's my day to carb up with and have a lot of protein after training fasted, and it's also my day to get crossfaded as much as possible earlier in the day, so that way I can wake up the next morning at 5 a.m. for work. And plus, I can still edit my episode while being crossfaded because I do this shit. Okay? I do this shit. And I have. Y'all have heard me take sips on this. Y'all think when I'm done taking my little couple of sips that I'm done for the rest of the evening? Hell no. So, anyway, with that being kind of pushed out, dialing it back a little bit, me going to the gym, fasted. I like it because it shows a lot of my discipline, but it is also the day where I receive the most NPC interactions. I can be fully focused on whatever it is and not have anyone spoke. I don't speak to anybody in the gym, and it'll be a random person that'll come to me and compliment me, and that's fine. It just happens in the most awkward NPC type way, like on Grand Theft Auto or a video game. It just happens weirdly. Today, I was going to wipe down the last machine that I was using, the leg extensions, because I was supersetting leg extensions with RDLs, Romanian deadlifts with dumbbells, right? So I went to go wipe down the machine, and there's somebody who's walking, and he makes a beeline towards me. He makes a beeline towards me, but he's walking as if he's going to walk right past me. And we halfway walk past each other, and then he turns his arm out to the side like a fist bump. And I look at his fist and I hesitate real quick, and I fist bump him, but I also take my earbud out at the same time. And he's like, "Man, you have a crazy build, man. Like, like it's just," and thank you. I appreciate that. But it was just, I thought that was going to be the end, like him saying that and me just walking away. And I take a step and it's still going. And at this point in time, I'm halfway in getting to where I got to go, and halfway in staying to listen. It was just so awkward for me. It was awkward. It was very, very awkward. And I realized I get NPC interactions a lot, whether I'm at work, and it's I don't know what it is with some people, but why do they happen the way they do? Example, this interaction, and this was the interaction directly to me. This is something I overheard, but it happened next to me. So, of course, this is at work. Most of my stories come from situations. A lot of my stories come from situations I've been in. So this is just me giving y'all an update on every goddamn day life at this point. So there was a lady who came in, and she was dealing with another employee. And I don't know what they was talking about, but the lady started talking to the people that I was helping out. And what caught my attention was she started talking about how good God is in her life and things like that, and how he's helped her and how good he is to her. And I'm like, I'm just listening, but not trying to listen. I'm technically at this point, I'm overhearing. I'll say that I'm overhearing because it's literally right next to me. So what got me, and I laughed at this. I tried to hold it in, y'all. But what made me laugh, and I'm surprised she didn't look at me. What made me laugh is she was saying, "Yeah, I was in the hospital for the past 2 days, and they was monitoring my lungs and everything because I had got sick or something like that. I think she said I got sick with and had like she got bronchitis and she got sick." and she was in the hospital the past 2 days, and they was looking at her lungs and so on and so forth. But she was like, God is good. They released me, and I spent all the rest of that day just smoking my cigarettes. He's so good to me. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold your bullshit up. And this is my Aquariusing, because how can you say something is good to you? You just contradicted your goddamn self. And I feel like if you consider that a blessing, you're stretching the fuck out of your blessing right now. You're stretching it. I don't know if you're trying to test it, if you have a hypothesis and you're just trying to see it, but if you're going to give thanks and brag about how good an entity is to you for bringing you out of something, why would you do the same thing to put yourself back in that situation? That's the same thing equivalent to, being young or those people who, and I used to do this a long, long time ago as a kid, never as an adult. But if you bring me out of this situation, I promise I won't ever do it again. And then you go back and do it again. And then you got to make the same kind of request. And then you don't get that. Like it's what that is still on my mind, y'all. That happened on Friday. That junk is still on my mind. I can't. And then she kept going about it too. And the people that I was helping, I could not help but laugh. And they looked at me and then looked at the person because they knew it was bullshit too. Sweetheart, when you get your results, if they did not tell you, your bronchitis is going to turn into lung cancer. So I would put the cigarettes. You know what? Fuck it. Don't put it down. Don't even put them down. Just keep doing what you want to do. At this point, it's selection, right? At this point in selection, you're doing it yourself. You're doing it to yourself. You can save yourself, but you don't want to save yourself. So continue to damn yourself. And I'm sorry, that is a strong kind of part in this show episode, but it is called The Flow of an Aquarius for a reason. And it is very unhinged. And I am speaking straightforward and straight to what are you expecting? What do you think is going to happen? All right, next. We're going to hop on these topics. Went back to you spent all day smoking your cigarettes. Oh, goodness. Should have spent all day getting that brain examined. All right. So, now that it is after New Year's means that it is January. And what happens towards the end of January? Aquarius season. And we are about to be in the midst of Aquarius season. I'm trying to figure out what to do on this show during Aquarius season to something that I won't do during any other season. Something that is dedicated to Aquarius, because this is the flow of an Aquarius. It's just something. I don't know what it is yet. I'm gonna figure it out. See, I was thinking about just doing live episodes, or not live episodes, but like video episodes just for Aquarius season. But then I feel like that'll take away. No, it won't. I could do video episodes all of Aquarius season, and then after Aquarius season is over, go back to only every 10 episode. But then on the 15th episode, I'm still doing a live on TikTok. You know what? We'll think about it. We'll think about it. So, my birthday is on Valentine's Day, right? And this has to do with it being Aquarius season. I don't think I've said that on this show before, but with Aquarius season being vastly rising, I think I'm going to give a story of one of the worst birthdays I've had. Okay. One of the worst birthdays I've had. And it could have been a good birthday. It absolutely could have been a fantastic birthday. But it was one of the worst birthdays I've ever had. I remember it like very detailed. Okay. So, and if this person is listening to this episode, or if this person ever listens to this episode, cool. Like, I don't have any animosity anymore. That shit died down a long time ago. I don't have any feelings towards them or you or whoever, but it's just still fucked up. It is what it is. You know, it was fucked up back then. It's still fucked up to today. It's a fucked up situation to be in, and I hope it don't happen to anyone. So let's take this back around to me being 23 years old. I was working at the gym, and a member comes in, and I don't remember seeing them that often, but she comes in, and as time goes, she brings her cousin in, and her cousin is an attractive, melanated woman, and apparently I catch her attention. So I'm checking her in. I'm getting her information to make sure she is good to be on a guest pass or whatever like that. And she starts flirting with me. And me being me, I'm very shy in a way. I'm very bashful. Because it catches me off guard. And as I've said before, when people start being that way towards me, I think they're just being nice and they're not really into me. And I'm oblivious to if they really, really are. I got to be told. And I've had other people say, well, if you think that they like you, then you're not really oblivious. You just got to have the confirmation. But my thing is, I don't think they like me. I think they're just being nice to me. But at the same time, nice can be flirty, or I just don't know. So I don't think they like me. I just think they might be flirting. I don't really know. So that's the confusion that I have. And I don't want to ask, like, why do I? So anyway, she starts flirting with me. And I got these answers because I've asked later on down the line. And this happens for week after week after week, right? She's working out, doing squats on the Smith machine. Or whatever. She asked me to spot her. She comes up to me and keep asking me questions, things like the other. So she's fishing for my attention. She's trying to get my attention. So, and she's not ugly. She's attractive. Like, she's very attractive. So, there came a time to where she was on the treadmill, and I was walking back to the men's locker room, and she stopped me, and I stood on it, and I was like, yeah, what's up? And she's, asked for me to come to her. So I walk over to the treadmill next to her, and it's still off. So I just stand there, and she's like, I've been flirting with you for a while, and I'm trying to get your attention. And I start laughing. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's what was going on. I wasn't sure, I'm kind of oblivious to that. And she's like, yeah, I can tell. I've been here, and you haven't really been. She said, are you interested in me? And I was like, I didn't really think about it, but we can see how it goes, I guess. Like, it's always weird for me to be in those situations, because usually you would hear about a man pursuing a woman, like a man going after a woman, something he likes, this, that, and the other. He's going to get them. My mind be on everything else. I don't go up to women and try to talk to them. If I compliment a woman, it's legit to say, hey, you are very gorgeous. Like, you have a nice face. I love your hair. That is, like, you have very beautiful eyes. That caught my attention. You had me shook for a second, but yeah, you enjoy the rest of your day. Things like that. It's legit, genuine compliments. I don't go up to a woman like, hey, shawty, hey, sweetheart. I'm like, hey, ma, how you do? I don't do all that. That's never been me. That's not me. If a woman is interested in me, here's I would say, if a woman is interested in me, it's best that we kind of acknowledge each other with eyesight, or we get on the same page some way, somehow. I don't know. I've had interactions where I've walked past a woman and she turns around and look at me, or she turns and looks at me when we get like side by side each other, and I turn and look at her, and she stops walking because she thinks I'm gonna, double back to go talk to her, and I smile and keep fucking walking. And then as I'm walking, I ask myself, Mike, what the fuck just happened? Was that an opportunity? Was that an opportunity? Guess we'll never find out. Oh well. Now, what was I going to do? And then I just, focus back on whatever else. It's always just been like that. It's always been like that. So yeah, it just has. Usually there's been anytime a woman has gotten my attention, it has been through nonverbal flirting in a way. And I'm able to catch that because I read people. So certain gestures I pick up on better than people just running their goddamn mouth. So I can kind of get a little, heads up with that. And I guess whatever I do gesture wise, like face expressions, kind of like have them come up to me, or it's just something simple of if we're cool and you're like, hey, just take my number. And then out of not really thinking, I may take a number. And it may go from there. I don't know. It just depends. So that happened in the fact of her saying that and then saying, hey, just take my number. And then took a number, sent her, a hey message, or let her know, and that's whatever. Then we started moving into talking and being, seeing one each other and, boyfriend, girlfriend type stuff. So eventually she moves to Orlando, and because of a job that she had been wanting, and I was proud of her for getting that job. She was hesitant on taking the opportunity because I was here and long distance, and I was like, no, fuck that, take the opportunity. I'm still gonna be here. I'm, whatever. So she took the opportunity. I said, if anything, I'll come see you. You got family here, you can come see me, whatever. So that's what it was. We, going back and forth, seeing each other. Now, come up to my birthday, in 2020, well, my 24th birthday. So this is when, what's the name of that movie? 50 Shades of Grey is coming out. So 50 Shades of Grey is coming out, and I know she wants to see it. So she's been talking about it. She's also been talking about a dress that she wanted, that caught her eye and stuff like that. And she asked me if, she sent me a picture of 3 dresses that she wanted to get for herself. And I was like, well, which one, if you could pick 2, which 2 would it be instead of 3? And she sent me the 2. And I said, how about you go with this one because I like that one a little better? And she was like, okay, cool. And she ended up getting that one. I ended up buying her the other dress without her knowing. So I'm preparing all of this stuff for Valentine's Day, which is my birthday again, right? So I buy that dress. It comes in. I ordered it. It comes in. It comes in, I want to say 3 days before Valentine's Day. So around the 11th. And then I start buying these roses. I buy 3 dozen roses. I pick the petal off of each rose, and I got this big ass card. I think the card was like 3 feet tall. It was a big ass card, and the envelope was big too. And I wrote all the ways I adore you, or all the, whoever she was. I wrote all the ways I adore you in that card, and I wrote a poem and all of the stuff like that. Like I wrote this, just every way I adored her. I bought 2 bottles of wine. One was a white Merlot, and the other one was Cabernet. Yeah, Cabernet. They're Barefoot brand. I still remember this shit like it was a week ago. And I bought 2 movie tickets to 50 Shades of Grey. I also bought her a $2,000 necklace that came in. I ordered that. And it came in. So the way I set up everything in the apartment is from the front door, you walk in and there was rose petals. The rose petals was supposed to serve as a purpose to show which direction to walk in or where things were. So had the rose petals going from the front door to where the sliding glass door was in the apartment, and then I did the rose petals around the big ass card, so that way it showed like a big ass circle of rose petals around the card. And then I split the rose petals off to go into the counter, the kitchen counter, the bar counter, and that's where I had them making a circle around the necklace that I had got for her as well, gold necklace. And then I made another split off into going into down the hallway and into my room. And when she opened the room door, there was rose petals that went to a big ass heart on the floor, and it had the bottles of wine, the movie tickets. Her dress was on top of the box. No, her dress was in a box still. I had got a gift box. Her dress was in the box. The wine and everything like that was on the ground. And then I had I heart you inside the big ass heart. And then I had the rose petals on top of the bed, kind of on top of my bed, just spread out. So it was set up to be a good ass birthday for me and for her. For me, it was just seeing her face, like seeing her reaction. Here's where shit gets fucked up. The day leading up to my birthday and the day of, she was, because my birthday was on a Saturday that year, she was getting a new car, right? She had been getting a new car, working on getting a new car for a week. The day of was a Saturday. So she's telling me, yeah, it's only a 2-hour drive from Orlando to Jacksonville. She's telling me, yeah, I'm getting ready to be on my way. I'm leaving the dealership. I'm getting ready to leave the dealership. We're just finalizing everything. Okay, and around this time, it was 2:00. I said, okay. 6:00 hit, nothing, no messages after that. I say, hey, if it's too much, I say something along these lines. If it's too much, you don't have to show up. Like I'm starting to doubt a lot of stuff right now, right? I'm in my head, I'm starting to doubt a lot of stuff. She texts me back a little bit after saying, oh no, I'm actually gonna be there. I'm getting my stuff packed or whatever, because she's supposed to have spent the weekend with me. I'm getting my stuff packed, and then I'll be there. I said, okay. Wait till 8:00. I text her. I'm like, hey, are you on your way? I got the movie for 10. I got something planned for 10. I didn't tell her what it was. I said, I got something planned for 10:00. Which was the movie? I got a last showing that night. Nothing back. 9:00. Text again. Just checking on, hey, just checking on you. Don't want to blow your phone up. It's not really something I do. But, just checking to make sure you're good. Don't hear nothing back. At that point, I stopped texting. Midnight roll around, I'm still up. 1:00 roll around, I'm still up. At this point, I say, fuck it. I open a bottle of wine, and I open the white Merlot, and I drink that white Merlot. I just take it to the head at this point, and then I get drunk, right? But I'm hurt. I'm not lashing out at her or nothing. I'm in my head like a mofo. I'm just not. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, but I keep going back and checking it, and then I don't see anything, no other response. So then, a little bit after that, I start drinking the other bottle. At this point, I'm drunk. I take the movie tickets. Well, no, that's a little after. So I get my phone and I do a walkthrough of everything. I had candles lit too, y'all. I had candles set to burn, right? So this is what I did. I set everything up as if she would have walked in. I light the candles, all of that shit. I take my phone and I record everything the way I wanted it to be. From the walk in to going to the card, seeing the card, pulling the card out and opening the card and showing everything. And then going to the bar counter, showing the necklace, opening that, showing what that was, going to my room, opening the room door, have the music playing low, all of that stuff. I set it up, recorded it all, and then saved that recording and started tearing the tickets up. I wasn't doing it in such a way of, I can't believe this motherfucker. I wasn't doing that. I just silently did it. Every once in a while, I take a swig of the bottle, put it down, just tear everything up, tearing them smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Took the rose petals and started walking on them bitches. Started walking on them as if I didn't care. They were not there. They was part of the carpet. I took the card and started ripping the card up. And ripping it. Took the necklace, and I put the necklace on my dresser. So the next day, I don't get anything. I don't get no messages either, right? So instead, that evening, I send her on Facebook the recording, so that way it don't lose that much quality. I send her the recording of everything, and she don't look at it. So Monday rolls around, and she sends me a text, and she's like, "Hey, how are you? I'm so sorry I wasn't able to make it for your birthday," and so on and so forth. It took me a little longer to get the car than I thought it would have. First of all, I asked her, I said, "How long were you at the dealership?" She said, "I was at the dealership till 10 that night." I looked up the time in which the dealerships closed. The dealerships closed at 8. There was no dealership open at 10. People aren't going to stay 2 whole hours just to make a sale that was completed. They still I know because I worked at a dealership before. That's not how, on a Saturday on top of that. So that was a lie. On top of that, leading up to that, there was, because she was a counselor, there was a guy who was coming in, one of the students. She was a counselor at a college. There was a guy who was coming in, one of the students who would come in and ask her, for help, but he was also flirting with her. I know that because we would be on the phone, and there was a couple of times she tried to put me on mute, but I guess forgot, and I would overhear the conversation. She wasn't saying anything outlandish. She's staying professional, but I could definitely tell, some conversation the way it would go, and her voice. I could tell because I wasn't there, and I could see she wasn't good along distance, out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. So as time go on, me being me, I held some type of emotion towards it, but I didn't let it show. I forgave her for that. That was a whole lesson learned. But in my mind, I was set. My mind was set on this is not gonna last much longer at all. I'm gonna be the one to end this, if anything. So, I mean, we had a good run, but after that, we were a little over a year in relationship too, and I just knew it wasn't after that part. So she came to see me, and I gave her the necklace. She didn't want it. I gave it to her. I said, "Take it, because if you don't, it's either going to be given to somebody else out of the fact of me just giving it away, or I'm going to trash it. I can't get my money back for it. I'm not returning it. I've did away with the receipt because it's a necklace that you wanted. So it is what it is." So she took it, and we had a talk. We had a long discussion about everything, and I didn't call her a liar to her face, but I didn't believe most of anything she said. So what further gave me confirmation that the person that was another person, was the fact of shortly after our relationship parted ways, she started dating them, and now they have their life together, which is, congratulations. I'm not hating or anything like that. All that stuff that after that happened on my birthday, that's a whole different whatever. Cool. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for y'all. Y'all got your life situated. I love it for you. But the birthday shit, I hope never happens to someone. That shit had me hurt in a special way I haven't been hurt before. That shit had me, whew, I was ready to drink one of those bottles and throw it across somebody's fucking head. Y'all, I've been through some emotional stress as far as people go, and and usually people will be like, "Well, what did you do? Like, what did you do for that to happen?" I set shit up as a surprise because I was given the promise. Oh, and that's the more thing. It was a promise that was given to me too. I promise I'm gonna be there. Promise broken. I was setting shit up for a promise that was given to me. After that whole situation, I learned to not have expectations for other people. And I live by that till today. Don't have expectations for other people. Even if people promise me, I'm still not even gonna, and that gave me trust issues too. I don't trust like that. It is difficult for me to be able to do that because of that situation. I trusted somebody and this is my fault. I trusted or entrusted someone to help make my birthday feel great and amazing on behalf of me making them feel great and amazing. Does that make sense? Me attempting to give this person what I knew they wanted, their energy, their positive energy from seeing that I'm willing to go out of my way to make them feel special, made me feel special. And considering I did what I was supposed to do, I did what I felt like I was supposed to do, and they kind of just was like, fuck it. That made me feel some type of way towards people in general. And I was like, damn, as many times if we've stayed up late and, we coach each other into or out of bad situations and bad moments when things was getting the best of us, and just these all types of conversations we've had, and been through a great deal of shit through that 1 year. Not anything negative towards us, but just going through a great deal of shit and just being uplifting towards one another. And then to have that split of a shift, it's like, damn, you really aren't good at this, are you? So that was one of the worst birthdays I've ever had. Like, that shit messed me up mentally in terms of people. It was fucked up. It was a breakup that happened. It was a breakup. And if it was somebody I wasn't in a relationship with that long, I wouldn't have cared. But considering it was over a year, and you came after me, and then kind of like just flicked me off, like that was. I've had a few more other fucked up birthdays, but that was one of them. And that kind of put me into what we're going to talk about in the next topic. Allowing myself to be vulnerable and open. There are things like that have allowed me to draw a boundary and a barrier when it comes to being vulnerable with people. Of course, me being a man on top of that, I've opened up in the past and I mean in the past like an adult, not so much as a teenager or whatever, but I opened up in the past as an adult and have been told, well, you're all right, man, suck that shit up, and it's like, no, this matters. This matters. It matters to me, and it should matter to you, I would hope, because your feelings and emotions or what you say matter to me. But it just didn't. And it wasn't one person that was like that. It was a few people that was like that to me. And it's like, well, damn, like, okay, y'all really don't give a fuck, but y'all want me to give a fuck about y'all. Okay. So being open and vulnerable became a thing. And plus me already being an Aquarius, like, it's just, I barely do that shit as it is. So I've dialed back a lot of that, a lot of it. And I just live in my head. I allow myself to feel now, but I would not allow myself to become what I feel. And if to me, if it don't make sense to speak about it, then I won't. I will have a straight face and I will feel like I'm torn down, but I will have a straight face and I will keep on doing shit the way it needs to be done. You will not know. But when I get by myself and I fully allow myself to feel, then it's a different story. Now, the downside to that is if I begin to feel too much based on something that somebody has done to me, I will grow very, very, very cold towards them. Very cold. Not give a damn. No emotions while you're speaking to me. My verbiage will change towards them. I will not care. I will ghost them. If you reach out to me and you continue to reach out to me, then we will have an issue. It begins to get to a certain point. And I avoid getting to that point, or I try to avoid getting to that point by not becoming vulnerable and opening up. Now, I just had a conversation with somebody a couple days ago, and they asked me to allow myself to be open with them, because our communication is good, right? So they asked me to allow myself to be open with them, and that right there shook me in a way of, it made my body hot. It made my body hot while stirring up a little bit of aggression from being triggered from shit. And it also made me sad in a way of, damn, I realized that part of my depression is the fact that I don't open up and I let it consume me. And that's difficult for me to do, like opening up about some things. I will volunteer information because I don't care about that information. But me being a personal person or a private person, there are things that I can't open up about. There are things that I feel like I cannot open up about because, number one, you're going to look at me very differently. You're going to think, oh, this motherfucker's crazy. Or you're going to be like, no, because feels, right? Like, ew. Feelings, ugh. But just like they told me, yeah, feelings are ill and gross and icky, but we are too grown to not be able to verbalize and internalize what we feel and have conversations about it with the person that made us feel some type of way. And I 100% agree with that. And that was very intellectually put, which I adore even more because it was not so much emotion based. It was intellectually put. And it was a fact. We are too goddamn grown to not be able to talk about how we feel in a positive and enlightening manner. We do not need to. And this is coming from an air sign. So it might not be received the way others would receive it. But we are too grown to become what we feel and hinder ourselves when it comes to separating how we feel from becoming what we feel, if that makes sense. How you feel should be able to be verbally expressed in a positive and enlightening manner. Once you become what you feel, you may overdo everything. You may, if you feel frightening, then you become that frightening, you will do something that a scared person would do with their back against the wall that it's probably not even necessary. When you feel angry or enraged and you become that feeling, you're going to lash out in such a way that is not necessary and end up in a situation that you probably do not need to be in, but you put yourself in, whether it's behind bars, whether it's buried, whether you've done something to someone, whatever it is. And I know that because I've had times to where I've questioned myself and said, fuck it, and allowed myself to become what I felt. And it was not my best moments. It was not my best moments, right? It was not my best moments. I've asked myself if I wanted to be diabolical because of the way somebody had made me feel. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. If they want to play this type of game, I'll play it right with them. And it was not, those are the moments that I wish I could take back, or do it differently, but I can't. So fuck it. But just opening up and being vulnerable is a very, very, very deep thing for me. And I'm going to try to do some of it on these episodes. And y'all think I've probably been open with y'all, or vulnerable with y'all. And I've been open a little bit to the things that other people know. I haven't said anything that other people don't really know, unless I've said, hey, and nobody knows anything about this. Then that's when you receive it. But other than that, this stuff I'm talking about has been said before. Other people know about this. So it's not really me being vulnerable or open. The most I've ever been vulnerable on this show was during my my spout, my bout, I should say, not spout, but my bout with my depression, and saying kind of how I was feeling on those episodes. But I would instantly be like, okay, we're gonna go something else. We're gonna talk about these topics. I still would not allow myself to be vulnerable enough. I would have that boundary line drawn and continue on to something else. And it's difficult for me to do. It's difficult for me to do. And it don't matter how much I may love somebody. It's the thought of, if I say too much, you may use that shit against me, or you may let somebody else in on that information. And that shit has happened to me, whether it's been, oh my gosh, it's happened to me when it becomes friends, family, loved ones. It's just supposed to stay between us. Why are you letting them know? Why are you involving this person? Why are you telling these people this? And it bothers me, right? It bothers the fuck out of me, because I have trust issues. And if you violate my trust once, then I would not look at you the same way. I don't care how much you think, oh, he's forgiven me. He's forgotten. I have not forgotten a damn thing. I have not. Forgive, yes. But that boundary shall never be crossed again. It shall never be crossed again. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is at that point. If we've had exchanges of, hey man, I'm a little short. Can you loan me something? Whatever that is, or if it's we're hanging out, having drinks and shit like that. Whatever it is, shit may continue or whatever. But that trust, that real trust of being vulnerable and opening up, will never be there. You will never know another thing personal about me again for the rest of your time on this plane of existence. You can, and as much as you think you're finding some shit out, or you're like, oh yeah, Mike, he sees. Nope. You will never know again. So being vulnerable with this person is gonna be something that I'm gonna try to do. But damn, I'm gonna have to think about it. I'm gonna have to think about being vulnerable with them. Like, it's not gonna come natural to me. I'm gonna have to think about it, right? Because my logic is gonna get in the way of it. My logic is gonna say it makes no sense for you to tell them this information, because what would they do with it? Why would they care? And at that point, I'm not going to say anything, and that's going to get in the way of everything. My mind is going to do that with everything. So I don't know if there's any advice any of you may have out there about being vulnerable, open with somebody, who for someone who has PTSD from that shit. And I could tell y'all more and more stories, but if y'all have advice, please let me know, because it's getting a little hard out here for a motherfucker. Oh my gosh, these feelings are ill, like emotions ill. But I mean, I'm not emotionless. I have a lot of emotions. And I think almost every Aquarius, especially myself, has been called emotionless, and that is not what it is. I have a lot of emotions. I just know how to separate them. If y'all hear whining in the back, that's a dog. Not my dog, but it's a dog. And she wants my attention. And right now, I'm working. So she's going to have to wait. She wants to be in here with me. And no, because I'm not dealing with that in here with me. So, anyway. So back to this other topic. What also has to do with opening up. I guess, in a way. This is more society driven. And it is what it is, because I kind of established myself to where I don't want to anymore, or I don't care if I do or don't. Being in my mid-30s and being unmarried, I got asked the other day if I was engaged, or if I was married, or if I plan to be married anytime soon, and I realized I'm starting to get this question a lot. And it's from older people, right? It's starting to become from older people. And it's becoming kind of annoying. It's not anything for me that I'm starting to realize, like, man, I'm here and I'm not married. It's not hitting me on that level of, I'm here and I'm not married. It's just not hitting me on that. It's hitting me on the fact of, are you married? Cool. Mind your business. Okay. If I'm not, I'm not. If I am, I am. And I'm realizing that one of the reasons why I don't care if I do or don't get married is because for those who know Aquarius, we like our freedom. We like to be free. We don't like to be bound, right? Now, I don't mean that as far as I can't commit to a relationship. I can't commit myself to be with somebody, one person. Like, that's not what I mean. I mean that for me on the aspect of, why the fuck does the state and law have to be in my business with my partner? Why do I need a license to spend the rest of my life with somebody for us to have conjoined and unjoined shit? I don't like that aspect of it, right? I don't like that. And what if shit don't work out? Why does the law have to delegate shit? I don't like that. And some people may say, "Oh, well, that sounds like a commitment thing. Like you can't be like, you might cheat. Is that why you ask, like, is that you married because you might cheat, like most men cheat?" I haven't cheated. I don't cheat. I don't care to. I rather just remove the relationship as a whole if I ever feel like I have to cheat. And this is how I know I don't cheat, because I don't allow myself to be with someone who I don't feel so strongly about, and they have my attention above anyone else. I'm not overly all about them to where I can't focus on what I need to take care of. But the best example I can say is, and this is fact, if I'm out hanging out with homies or just at a gathering with family or friends, whatever it is, if I start drinking and I drink too much and there's other women at the gathering, I won't say most, but there are guys who will forget because they're like, "Hey man, my hormones right now, my testosterone, I'm horny right now, let me see if I can get her, get some of this." I don't want any part of that shit. I want to get to the woman I'm with. That's all I want at this moment. And that's all I want in general. I'm like, "Hey, I'm ready to leave." They're like, "Man, what, all this ass out here? All this ass can stay here. I want what I got waiting for me." And that's how I've always been. Once I get to that point, I'm like, "Hey, I feel this type of way. I'm ready to go home." And even if I am with the person and we're out drinking, whoever I'm with, and we're out drinking, we're out having a good time, whatever. Once I get to a certain point, I start looking at them and I start, admiring them a lot more. And I start, whatever, but we're together. So I'm like, "Hey, are you having fun like here?" And they say, "Yeah." I say, "Okay, how much longer do you want to be here?" If they say, "Well, you ready to go?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to put you through a mattress, or so whatever it is." I'm saying, and I like the fact that they like that. I've had 2 relationships where they didn't like that. They didn't like that, and that bothered me. That bothered me a lot. But I like the fact that they like that, because that, for me, that reassures them that I'm all about them, right? In that aspect, I'm all about them. Relationship wise, I'm not looking at nobody else. You're mine, as we say. You're mine, I'm yours. We're together on this, right? We're together on this journey. I like that. But it's the fact of, so that don't got anything to do with cheating. It's just the fact of, the law is supposed to protect and serve and have justice, but a lot of times that shit is not. It's not, and we can show that it's not. We have factual proof that it's not. And so, if I was to get married, taking half bothers me only in the way of, I know I'm not gonna cheat, and it's not gonna happen. A divorce is not gonna happen on my fault, on my behalf, right? It's not gonna be something that, "Oh, I fucked up, so now they wanna, get away from me," kind of thing. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I've been in enough relationships. I've been with enough people to know how I am when it comes to those things like that. I've been in long relationships. I've been in long distance relationships, and they've lasted a while. And I'm, whatever. But the other person, the woman I'm with, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't got my thoughts down on that yet. Right now, and this is just me trying to clarify for other people. So that's why I guess I say I don't know. This is just me clarifying for other people. But the whole law got to be in my business, that bothers the fuck out of me. I don't like that. I just like it to be between us. Like, we have the agreement. We know what we want out of this, right? It's between you and I. We know where we're headed. We got shit that we got to do with each other. We got these plans, and we are happy with this and that, And there's another thing. This has bothered people I've been talking to in the past, or relationships I've been in the past. Me, as an Aquarius, I like my own space, right? And it's essential for me to have my own space. So there's been times where I've said, I want multiple houses because of things that I have planned for me and my company or business endeavors, but I want multiple houses and in different states for travel purposes with work. And my thoughts are on, if I'm traveling for work and you want to travel with me, then we have a house. I don't have to lodge anywhere else when I'm on set, on a movie set. Like, I have a house that I can go to and get up, and you can come with me because we're married, we're together. We got a house that we can go to. We don't have to worry about, the set is paying for your room, and it's just for you, you can't have anyone there. No, we have a whole house here. I look geographically at the most spots to film in, and anything even outside of those spots, the house would be closer to just go to and then go travel back and forth between sets and so on and so forth like that. So that's what I want, right? Outside of that, I've stated that by me wanting my space, I would like the house to have a bar in it and my man cave. And I've even went as far as saying, if you, whoever it was, want your own spot and space in there, whatever you want to do, that can be it too. We have our own space we want our own space, and then we have our room together. We have our room to lay up, cuddle, whatever. If we don't want to be in our own space and we want to be with each other because we feel some type of way, then we have our own room for that. If we want to be in our space, we have our own space. Everything else with the house is going to be us. The kitchen, we're going to have one kitchen. Well, depending on the house. We'll have our kitchen. We'll have our family room. We'll have whatever, all this other stuff. But we'll have an area for our own space. And they have not liked that idea. Therefore, everything else, until I mention, you'll have an area for your own space whenever you want your own space. And they're like, oh, yeah, I said, yeah, if you want to, do your nails, you like being creative, you want to paint or whatever, do photo shoots for yourself, you will have all of that for your own area. And they're like, oh, that'd be nice. And I'm like, yeah. And then I'll have our own space where, I have probably like my gaming area or my work area, and where I'll spend, my little chambers, my area where I spend my time at. And they're like, well, how much time do you plan to spend there? The fuck does that matter? Why are you upset now? Why are you snapping back now? Because I'm talking about having the same thing, making things equal. Making things equal across the board. You don't like that. You want to have your own time away from me, but I can't have my own time away from you. And the thing is, this is something that I have planned whether we're together or not. So why does it bother you that I'm including you, kind of thing? See, that's one thing that gets me on top of that. I understand being married is on the same accord, but you see, I'm trying to think about, if I do get married or do end up spending the rest of my life with somebody, how to include them into my world while making them happy, or satisfied as well. And the thing is, when I say include them into my world, I don't want anybody out there saying, well, they should include you into their world. They have. If we're together, then we've included each other into each other's world, right? But my thing is, I have a certain plan for how I want my housing area to be for my career. Just the states and the houses, the building itself, right? If they want, that's what I want for me, whether we're together or not. The type of structures that they want, I'm willing to negotiate on that. If, like, I want a place in New York because New York has a lot of filming and fashion stuff there, right? If they want an industrial built kind of house where it looks industrial or a condo, whatever like that, I'm down for that, right? Because I didn't plan on having a house in New York. I just know I want something there. So I'm still open to that. I'm down for that. But I also would like it to have an area to where they have their space and I have my space. That's it. Aside from our space together. That's all I'm asking for. Just to keep things on good terms and me not to feel overwhelmed. Or them not to feel overwhelmed in the relationship, right? But there are things like that kind of make me question, like, damn, am I even going to... That makes me not want to, get married, because it's like I'm trying to compromise, and I don't like compromising for any goddamn thing, but I'm trying to negotiate and make a way for everything to just fit, and you're fucking up my puzzle. Like that's what bothers me. I can't, but it's still, I don't know. I guess I'm at the point now because society makes it feel like, oh, if you're in your mid 30s and you're not married, then you're going about life wrong, or you need to do something better. You're broke. You're a bad person. All this other shit. Like and that's not none of the cases. I don't give a damn what society says. It's, to me, I don't know if it's in the cards or not. I just don't care at this point whether I do or I don't. And I know there are people out there who may, in their mind, want a relationship with me and may want to marry me. But first of all, the people that may have that in their mind, I don't even know for a fact. I don't know you, because only reason why I've said that is because on my lives in the past, I've had people come in and say that, and then they've kind of like just kind of stalked my page and shit like that. Like, it got kind of creepy. So those people are obsessive. But outside of that, I don't know if it's in my cards. I don't really care if it's in my cards. It is what it is. If I do get married, I get married. If I don't, I don't. But I just would like for people to allow people to be themselves and not judge them for the way their life is, and kind of try to push them to do something just because it makes them comfortable, or they think that this person should have it done. That has nothing to do with you. A person's pace and timing is a person's pace and timing. So mind your goddamn business before I smack you with a fucking electric guitar and pull all your edges out with tweezers. But this episode ran over a little bit more because of that story I told. It was not supposed to be this long. I actually wasn't even supposed to go over 50 minutes, but hey, it is what it is. So that just means I have a little bit more editing to do. And we're going to end it now. So we are going to say, once again, Happy New Year. And let me know who you are that are listening to this. Please leave a comment. Let me know how your New Year is going. What are you guys doing for Valentine's Day? Are you guys planning anything? I know it's still a month out, but are you guys planning anything? Are you guys looking forward to anything? You guys got something planned for you that you're looking forward to? You're taking a vacation, you're taking a trip. You don't celebrate Valentine's Day, that's fine. Are you treating yourself with love? Because I don't believe in celebrating it as being, just one day of love. That's not what I'm interested in. It's my goddamn birthday, okay? So I can't help that I was born that day. So what are you guys doing for Aquarius season, I should say? Aquarius, stand the fuck up. We in here. It's almost our time, baby. It's almost our time. Even though it's only the 5th, it is almost our time. I don't give a damn. I gotta wish my Capricorn friends a birthday. Happy birthday. And after that, then it's turn up time. So yeah. Thank you all for watching this episode or listening to this episode. We're going to end this episode with a little bit of unhingedness. I'm opening something up right now, and this was given to me by a very special friend of mine. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. You are awesome and amazing. This is what you guys can't see. It's an edible. And as we talk, or as I end this episode, I am eating this edible. So editing is going to be fun, and so is the rest of my evening. Panther Forte, out.